Hello, this is Carli from English with Carli. Welcome to the podcast. This is a fun and encouraging space for you to practice English. Today, we will be talking about something essential to all pregnancies, prenatal care. Over on my blog, you can find a written version of this podcast episode, and I've also made you a list of vocabulary words with definitions to help you study. I will give you a short fill-in-the-blank quiz at the very end of this episode so you can practice using some of this new vocabulary. The quiz can also be found over on my blog if you prefer to take it that way. I will also be asking you some questions about prenatal care and what it looks like in your country. So please be sure to respond to that in the comments so I can interact and get to know you. And also, I will provide feedback and responses to as many people as possible. Prenatal care is defined as the care you get while you are pregnant. In the United States, this typically involves appointments with an obstetrician-gynecologist, also referred to as an OBGYN, getting regular sonograms or ultrasounds, getting labs done, and meeting with a specialist doctor if it is warranted. Insurance plans and providers usually have a set protocol for pregnant women. It can vary from provider to provider, but the process is usually similar. In the first trimester, weeks 0 through 13, so many important things are happening. Depending on the provider, women will usually have their first appointment with the doctor to confirm their pregnancy between weeks 8 and 10. Before or after that appointment, she may be asked to get some labs done. These labs are blood tests and urine tests that usually check for the overall health of the mother going into pregnancy. They may also want to check for her blood type. Doctors will also usually discuss family history and possible genetic testing and health screening that should be completed early in pregnancy. In the second trimester, weeks 14 to 27, appointments usually remain the same, occurring every 4 weeks or once a month. However, there are a few special appointments and labs that some pregnant women may be asked to complete. First, between weeks 20 and 22, she may be asked to get something done called an anatomy scan. This is common practice in the United States and serves to check on baby's growth and anatomical development using ultrasound. A maternal fetal medicine doctor will usually evaluate the results of the scans and let the family know if any abnormalities are found. Second, it is also common practice to be tested for gestational diabetes between weeks 24 and 28. If she passes the gestational diabetes test, she will go on with pregnancy as normal. However, if she fails the test, she may be asked to get another type of test done and will work closely with her doctor and possibly a dietitian to manage the gestational diabetes. Working closely with the doctor and dietitian will help make sure that she and the baby are safe and healthy throughout the rest of the pregnancy, which is so important. The third trimester occurs from weeks 28 through 40 or the birth of baby. This is the very end of pregnancy. From weeks 28 to 36, appointments will usually increase to be twice a month or every other week. Then around 36 weeks, appointments will usually increase again to every week or more, depending on the circumstances and what your doctor recommends. During the final trimester, doctors will continue to monitor the growth of baby and the mother's health. Parents-to-be may also be taking classes during this time in order to prepare for the arrival of the baby. Some of these classes may include postpartum care, breastfeeding, newborn baby care, birth preparation, and also first aid and CPR. After speaking to some of my friends from other countries, it seems like prenatal care looks very different outside the United States. I am so curious to learn about it more and learn what it looks like where you are from. Please let me know in the comments, what does prenatal care typically involve in your country? And what do you think of this overview of the American prenatal care protocol? Also, are there things you think need to be included in prenatal care but aren't? Try to use some of the new vocabulary words you have learned in today's episode. Again, you can also visit my blog, englishwithcarli.blogspot.com, for a written version of this podcast, along with the vocabulary words in bold and italicized in the text, and also a complete list of those vocabulary words with their definitions over on my blog. Please do check it out. It may help you as you're trying to write your sentences. And when you're ready, I have a short fill in the blank quiz for you coming up next. It is now time for your fill in the blank quiz to see what new vocabulary you have learned from today's lesson. If you want some more time to study that vocabulary before taking the quiz, go ahead and press pause and go over to my blog for the vocabulary list with definitions and the written text. And when you're ready, let's get started. I will read each statement twice, and I will say in the space where the vocabulary word is supposed to go. Then I will read the statement again with the correct answer. Number 1. Lucy had her first prenatal care appointment yesterday. During the appointment, her doctor asked about her and her partner's so that they know about any illnesses, diseases, or genetic conditions that could affect the baby. Lucy had her first prenatal care appointment yesterday. During the appointment, her doctor asked about her and her partner's so that they know about any illnesses, diseases, or genetic conditions that could affect the baby. If you need more time, please go ahead and pause. You can go back and listen. I'm now going to read the statement with the correct answer. Lucy had her first prenatal care appointment yesterday. During the appointment, her doctor asked about her and her partner's family history so that they know about any illnesses, diseases, or genetic conditions that could affect the baby. So here the answer was family history. Number 2. Eliza has moved to Germany from the United States. She is 12 weeks pregnant and started her prenatal care in the US. Now she is about to go to her first prenatal care appointment in Germany. Her friend told her that the protocol for prenatal care in Germany may, from what she is used to in the US. Eliza has moved to Germany from the United States. She is 12 weeks pregnant and started her prenatal care in the US. Now she is about to go to her first prenatal care appointment in Germany. Her friend told her that the protocol for prenatal care in Germany may, from what she is used to in the US. So if you need more time, go ahead and pause. I'm now going to read this statement with the correct answer. Eliza has moved to Germany from the United States. She is 12 weeks pregnant and started her prenatal care in the US. Now, she is about to go to her first prenatal care appointment in Germany. Her friend told her that the protocol for prenatal care in Germany may vary, vary, from what she is used to in the US. So the answer here was vary, vary. Okay, and number 3. Lucy's doctor doesn't think a visit to a specialist is at this time. Lucy's doctor doesn't think a visit to a specialist is at this time. If you want to pause, you can go back and listen again. And now I'm going to read the statement with the correct answer. Lucy's doctor doesn't think a visit to a specialist is warranted at this time. So the answer here was warranted. Please let me know how you did in the comments below. I'd really like to know how this was for you and if you liked having a quiz on some of these vocabulary words. Again, you can find a list of vocabulary words from today's episode and their definitions over on my blog. There you can also find a written version of this quiz if you would like to see it and the answers in writing. It is all there for you. I have provided a link to my blog post for today's episode in the description box, so please be sure to check that out. You can also now subscribe to my blog so that you don't miss out on any content. I will send you a weekly email with that week's podcast episode, blog post, and quizzes, study materials, and vocabulary lists. So please be sure to sign up if you are interested. That is all for today's episode. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider giving this a thumbs up. I have left information on how to connect with me and sign up to my weekly newsletter in the description box, so please be sure to check that out. And until the next episode, take care.